Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, stopping by with just another nugget. I was thinking as I heard somebody say on a news show just the other day, how is it that we, the United States of America, can hold ourselves up before the world talking about the land of the free, the home of the brave, the land of the free, at a time when its founders were holding slaves? Slave masters talking about free. Who were they talking about? They definitely were not talking about everybody. They didn't say they weren't talking about everybody. Their actions indicated that they were not talking about everybody. And so when we think about that, we know that it can't be God. Or at least it can't be the God of those who were slaves. Might have been the God of the slave master, but definitely was not the God of the slaves. And yet we still try to say that the God of the slaves is also the God of the slave masters, and that the slave God is not the one that was at fault. It was the governed that were at fault. Those who decided that they wanted to be God by being masters, and those that had so little faith in God that they became slaves. So in every instance you saw yourselves losers. But at the same time, there has been an indication that suggests that the losers were the one that you felt the most sorry for, because they were the ones that were sleeping in the street. They were the ones who didn't have the education. They were the ones who didn't have the jobs or the necessary careers that would allow them to be free. They were the ones that were homeless. They were the ones that were really being abused. And so when the message came down and said, let's focus on something, let's focus on lifting those up who are going through the pain. It should be easier to lift them up than to get those who are trying to ride high on abusing to slack it up. So in other words, the force must come from the root. And so being down here at the bottom, I would say to all of us, the truth of the matter is, the things are the way they are because none of us have known God. And if we are going to get this thing balanced out, we are all going to have to come and create a relationship with God. But it is not for us yet to focus on those over there. Let's focus on these right here. And so let us, all of us who are suffering, the 99%, and those who are really suffering, the 60%, it is for you, for me, all of us to get together and say, listen, the resources of the earth, the things that no human being had any authority in making, creating, the minerals of the earth, oil, gas, and diamonds and gold and nickels and whatever else is down there, that stuff that's on the earth, the land, the waters, everything that that God made cannot be owned by any of us. Now, every human being must recognize that and honor that. Because you're going to find some people trying to claim the land, trying to claim the forest, trying to claim the lakes, trying to claim the gold, trying to claim the oil. You're going to find some people trying to claim everything. But I don't care what they try to claim, they have no authority over it until you say, okay. Now, they'll do everything they possibly can to get you to say, okay, up to the point of having a war against you, trying to slaughter you. They'll do that. But according to the faith of life, it is better to stand even though you have to fall at the hand of a bullet than to give in to something that ain't real. Because you remain real now. We don't know what the master, that God that I'm speaking of you, don't really know what happens after that bullet or after they cut your head off. We really don't know what happens then. But it shouldn't matter. We didn't matter before we came into the world, but we're here. And one thing that happens, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this. Free people, when you saw the natives, now we weren't there and we don't really know how it went, but we can imagine based upon the wars and stuff that we have seen documents of, and some of us have been there. When people were fighting for what they believed in, they were courageous. There was power in them like you can't believe. Death was the furthest thing away from their mind. That's the way it is when you stand for righteousness. That, the world can't give to you. They can call you a patriot all they want. They can put some medals on your chest all they want. But they don't go within. What's in within, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you something out of this world. That's when you stand for what's right. And so, for us who can't drive nice cars because we have allowed ourselves to be bent, for those of us whose houses are falling apart because we can't get them repaired because we don't have the resources to do the things that needs to be done within the system, the same system that made some slave masters and other slaves. No, it is for us to be free today, ladies and gentlemen. Those guys out there today over in Minneapolis or St. Paul, St. Paul I believe, the teachers, they're on strike. They're on strike because they say we need more resources to accommodate what we're trying to achieve within the school system. And even in everything that they're trying to do and what they're speaking for, ladies and gentlemen, is shortchanging themselves. They should be standing out there for everything that they know of, whether it has to do with computers, whether it has to do with these tablets and stuff that these kids use, whether it has to do with any resources, counselors, extraordinary teachers to deal with specific courses, tutors. All of these, ladies and gentlemen, should be within the school system, and that's what they should be picking for. And when they start talking about wages, they should be saying carte blanche, that allows them to do, access, needs, wants, and desires as they choose. Now, this is what I would be standing up speaking to them about. Now, I don't have the resources to get around right now. My daughter, youngest daughter, tells me all the time that I got to do more than putting these posts. I got to go back to the old way. But I don't know if I'd be received out there, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to speak for that works for everybody, because anything less than that is still a slave. Still a slave, lack of knowledge. And if you say I got the knowledge, but I just want to go along to get along, a fool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll stop there. I just wanted to say a couple of those little things that I want you to focus on. While we should not stay bent under the system. I know we've been taught you can't go against the system. I know we've been taught that. To hell with that. Unless my conversation has always been, as in heaven, and that's that old dream world what everybody's been thinking about, except those who've been trying to keep you out of heaven by making heaven look so bad. But other than that, so I say, take it out of that heaven, take it out of the clouds, take it out of your mind, and live in it by building it. That's a simple matter. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.